This is the WJTS News. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joey Rehl reporting. The Du Bois County Chamber of Commerce will host the inaugural State of the Chamber and Awards ceremony on Friday, March 11th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time at Huntingburg Event Center, located at 110 East 14th Street in Huntingburg. Chamber members can expect registration details to be sent via email and via the e-newsletter. In addition to the annual meeting, the Chamber will be celebrating and honoring 3 outstanding individuals: a Young Professional of the Year, an Administrative Professional of the Year, and a Business Person of the Year. If you know of any individual worthy of any of these 3 awards, please visit DuBoisCountyChamber.com. The deadline to submit candidates is February 18th. There are still sponsorship opportunities for the State of the Chamber and Awards ceremony. You can contact Becky Hickman at becky.hickman@DuBoisCountyChamber.com for more information. The Du Bois County Chamber of Commerce supports the business community of Du Bois County with a unified voice and serves businesses of all sizes by providing leadership, advocacy, and member-to-member collaborative opportunities for working at a county, regional, and state level to foster growth and profitability for their members. For more information or to become a Du Bois County Chamber of Commerce member, visit DuBoisCountyChamber.com. The Indiana Department of Education today released data on school enrollment for the 2021-2022 school year. Enrollment in Indiana's public and accredited non-public schools has grown to 1.12 million students, a modest increase from the previous school year. Enrollment growth in Indiana's schools is significantly driven this year by a 5.25% increase in kindergarten enrollment compared with the 2020-2021 school year. This strong growth comes as some families are enrolling their children in a K-12 school for the first time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Indiana's schools serve 1.12 million students, of which 1.03 million are enrolled in public schools. More than 83,000 students currently attend Indiana's accredited non-public schools, which comprise 7.4% of Indiana's students. Indiana saw enrollment increases from the previous school year across all school types, including an increase of 2,999 students in public schools and 4,672 students in non-public schools. Enrollment calculations are based on a statewide count of students in attendance in Indiana school on October 1st. A full breakdown of school enrollment for the 2021-2022 school year is available at in.gov/DOE. A federal grand jury in Indianapolis returned an indictment yesterday charging a Terre Haute man with the murder of a federal police officer, attempted arson of federal property, and using a firearm during a crime of violence causing death. These charges against Shane Meehan, 45, of Terre Haute stem from the July 7, 2021 killing of Terre Haute police detective and FBI task force officer Gregory Ferenczi. Meehan was previously charged by a federal criminal complaint filed on July 8th of 2021. According to documents, on July 7th of 2021, Meehan drove his pickup truck to the gate of the FBI resident agency building in Terre Haute. Meehan exited his truck and threw a Molotov cocktail toward the building. Shortly thereafter, Terre Haute police detective and FBI task force officer Greg Ferenczi walked out of the FBI building and was confronted by Meehan. He was holding a firearm at the time. Meehan shot Ferenczi, who died of his injuries. The defendant was arrested on July 7th of 2021 and has been ordered detained in the custody of the United States Marshal pending trial. He will make his initial appearance on the indictment before a United States magistrate judge at a later date. The murder and firearm charges are capital eligible offenses, punishable by lifetime imprisonment or death. Should the Attorney General of the United States determine that the circumstances of the offenses are such that a sentence of death is justified, the law requires that notice be filed with the court at a reasonable time before trial. The FBI is investigating the case. The Terre Haute Police Department and the Indiana State Police provided valuable assistance in the investigation. An Evansville man was sentenced to over 17 years in federal prison for sexually exploiting a child in his care and creating images of the abuse. According to court documents, on March 25th of 2021, the Evansville Police Department responded to an address in Evansville. The officer spoke with an adult female who was reporting that Todd Johnson Jr., 33, of Evansville, had sexually explicit images of a child on his cell phone. She reported that earlier that day she saw an image on Johnson's cell phone when he was asleep. Johnson awoke, and after a confrontation, he fled the area, but the adult female was able to retain his cell phone. After further investigation, it was discovered that Johnson Jr. used a prescription drug to sedate the minor victim. Then he would sexually abuse the victim and take pictures of the abuse. The abuse images demonstrated that the child was heavily sedated or unconscious at the times of the abuse. An arrest warrant was issued for Johnson on April 7th of 2021, and he was arrested on April 8th. The FBI investigated the case. The Evansville Police Department and the Vanderburgh County Prosecutor's Office Cyber Crime Unit also provided assistance. The sentence was imposed by U.S. District Judge Richard Young. As part of the sentence, Judge Young also imposed 15 years of supervised release, and Johnson must register as a sex offender. In fiscal year 2019, the Southern District of Indiana was second out of the 94 federal districts in the country for the number of child sexual exploitation cases prosecuted. This case was brought as part of Project Safe Childhood, a nationwide initiative launched in May of 2006 by the Department of Justice to combat the growing epidemic of child sexual exploitation and abuse. Led by U.S. Attorney's offices and the Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section, Project Safe Childhood marshals federal, state, and local resources to better locate, apprehend, prosecute individuals who exploit children via the internet, as well as to identify and rescue victims. For more information about Project Safe Childhood, please visit justice.gov/PSC. Legislation authored by State Representative Matt Hostetler would help Hoosier veterans and their spouses connect to available grants, scholarships, and job training opportunities. Hostetler said numerous state resources are dedicated to veterans, active duty military members, and their families, and steps need to be taken to better inform them of those opportunities. His legislation would take the Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs with providing information to veterans and their families about available services and programs. To better identify veterans who could benefit from programs, Hostetler's legislation would also task state agencies, including the Indiana Department of Education, the Family and Social Services Administration, the Indiana Commission for Higher Education, Indiana Department of Workforce Development, and Indiana Professional Licensing Agency, with asking those who they provide services to about their military affiliation and experience. House Bill 1188 is assigned to the House Committee on Veteran Affairs and Public Policy. To learn more and watch legislative proceedings, visit iga.in.gov. Stay tuned. WJTS News will be right back with a check of weather, and then Kurt Guxell will be in with a look at sports.